Welcome to Decades of Horror, the classic era.
Forgive them if my hound bites my hand after I have fed and caressed him. Should I allow him to go undisciplined?
This is episode 223, reviewing The Masque of the Red Death from
Well, should I?
1964. Recorded February 15th, 2026.
Gruesome Magazine.
All right, I am your host, Doc Rotten. In this podcast, we cover the good, the bad, and maybe even the ugly horror films released since the beginning of time through 1969. In each episode, we'll discuss the monster spirits, psychos, and villains that have haunted movie-going audience since the dawn of film history. I will never be able to fill Jeff's shoes with that. Never. Oh, my goodness. Joining me this week are my incredible co-ghosts. Starting off with Daphne, who is awesome, suspendous, and likable as hell. I'm stumbling over everything. It's a great day. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you guys and talk about this movie.
Yes.
Yay!
Oh, this was a surprising pick, even if I picked it. All right, joining us also is Bill Mulligan, writer, director, special effects guru, and all-around nice guy and published author
of Rome, Tales of Terror in 3D. Yes, it's great to talk about this one. Such a beautiful film. Great. Anyone who thinks Corman was overrated needs to watch this.
Yes, indeed. That's going to be a good couple hours. Also joining us tonight is Chad Hunt, co-host of Decades of Horror 70s and 80s, and film producer and writer and director at Wreak Havoc Productions, and a comic book artist and writer. And he smells real good. How you doing, Chad?
Well, thanks for the compliment. I don't get that very often. Usually I don't smell very pleasant. But
oh my.
Boy, is my face red.
Oh my. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to get into talking about the film. We're going to talk about the nuts and bolts of it, and then we'll get into our first impressions, and then we'll talk about how it was promoted and the actors in it and all the cast and crew and fun stuff there, and then we'll wrap things up with feedback. And we got some really fun feedback tonight. Stick around for that. Before we get started, we want to just remind you we are partnering with Play Now Media on several of their channels. And the Classic Era is on the Classic Sci-Fi Movie channel, the Classic Horror Movie channel, and the Wicked Horror TV channel. And they have many, many others, and you can find them on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and on their website online and other places as well. So check them out. We would greatly appreciate it. We also want to encourage you, if you will, please, yes, hit the like and subscribe, share with a friend. And we will, every click will help us find more horror fans just like you. All right, let's wake everybody up and let's get into the car and get things going. All right, The Masque of the Red Death from 1964, directed by Roger Corman, written by Charles Beaumont and R. Wright Campbell, from a story by Edgar Allan Poe, at least one, maybe few. The cast includes Vincent Price, Hazel Court, Jane Asher, David Weston, Nigel Green, Patrick McGee, and Skip Martin. Production company is Alta Vista Productions, distributed by American International Pictures. That's AIP here in the U.S. Filming locations were Associated British Elm Street Studios, Shenley Road, Boreham Wood, Hertfordshire, England, UK. And cinematographer is somebody that we want to mention. Who wants to spill that one? Anybody? Nobody. Okay, I'll do it. Nicolas Roeg, name you may be familiar with. Wow, that was fun. Release date was June 24th, 1964 in both the US and UK. The budget was a modest $1 million estimate, and Grokopedia says it was 400K, but I bet you it was closer to the 1 million. Synopsis is a European prince terrorizes the local peasantry while using his castle as a refuge against the Red Death Plague that stalks the land. I don't know why there's a question mark, but that's fun. So now we have that all wrapped up. Let's dive into our first impressions. And Daphne, I want to start with you.
Okay.
What do you think of this film?
Well, I had seen it before, and mostly what I remembered from it was the masquerade ball. That was mostly what I remembered.
Yes.
And so it was really nice to watch it again. And I've watched it a few times now. I was really sucked into it and liked it a lot. There was, I don't know, just so much going on. The colors were beautiful. The cinematography was great. I liked the direction, but really what really kind of got to me was the colors and the costumes, but how the world was built around, like it started off with the stage, kind of some of the stage, just basically how the stage was set up and set design, and how it kind of slowly built up to make this world more surreal as it kind of went in. So you felt like you're very separated from the rest of reality. And first you start off with the old woman walking, and it's clearly on a stage, really kind of like this uncanny, something's not right kind of thing. And then slowly brings you into the kind of segregated area in the castle or whatever, where all the highfalutin, high-class feudal folks are separated from, the rest of the world. And I just really liked how it kind of, that all just built this kind of separate world that was kind of in between. And I just thought that was really great. And again, the colors were amazing. It was so much fun. The acting was great. And I'm really excited to talk about it.
Excellent. Yeah, vibrant colors, right?
Yeah.
All right, Chad Hunt, you're up next. What was your first? When did you first see this? What was your first impression?
I've seen bits and pieces over the years. It's one of those. It would be on TV as a kid, and I would watch it because it had Vincent Price, but I would have no idea what was going on. I just didn't understand. There was a lot of subtext in this. Well, maybe not a lot, but there is a subtext of maybe class warfare or class distinction, the haves and the have-nots in this film that I didn't get when I was a kid, but and I've seen it maybe one other time as an adult, and really, really, really like this film a lot. It's one of Vincent Price's best performances, I think. The blood is looks like blood. It doesn't look like hammer blood. It looks like real blood, and just the overall decadence of the Satanists. They're just living it up and have not a care in the world for the have-nots who come seeking refuge, at the castle doors, and they're either killed or sent running away. And it's just a great movie, and it those themes that it touches on ring true a lot today, still, and I'm sure it did back then as well, but I don't know if it was an intended thing. But it's one of the first movies I ever watched where Satanism was just boom, it's right there. Yeah, we're Satanists, so what? Come on in, have a cup of tea. That kind of thing. And it just was so matter of fact, we're Satanists. I'm going to marry Satan. No, you're not. I'm marrying Satan. It's just out there for everybody to see. And it's one of the first movies I ever saw that had that, where the Satanism was just boom, just right in your face. So yeah, I enjoy this a lot. The cinematography is beautiful. The colors are beautiful. Production value, even if it was $1 million, he got his money's worth because these sets were beautiful. They were the castle and everything like that. It was just it's a beautiful film. I love it.
Excellent, excellent. Bill Mulligan, sir. When did you first see this, and what was your first impression?
I have a feeling, I'm pretty sure sometime in the 70s or so, there was the 4:30 movie was one of the, it was, I think it was on Channel 9 or Channel 11. 4:30 movie would sometimes do theme weeks, and they were great. You know, they had a Harryhausen theme week or a Godzilla theme week, and one of them was, I don't know who programmed this, but they were really cool. They did Corman's Poe films, and I think they ended it with this one. And I was just like blown away. Now I feel like what I saw was somewhat edited. In fact, I'm pretty sure of it. I didn't remember a lot of. I felt like the whole thing with the dwarf and the ballerina was taken out, and a lot of the blood was. So it was interesting watching it again. There's much that I'd forgotten. What I did remember was the color, the poetry of it, and Corman. I mean, look, Corman's an interesting guy. When he had to get a film done in 3 or 4 days, he could hack it out with the best of us. And some of his films are worth making fun of on Mystery Science Theater 3000 and everything. But when he cared about what he was doing, when I think this is one more than most, when it's like, people are going to judge me one day, and I want something I could hand out. It's such a great way of taking the Bergman, Seventh Seal motifs and everything, and turning it into a piece of entertaining exploitation horror. Just one of the best. And now that I know Nicolas Roeg was behind the cinematography, it's no surprise that it looks as good as it does. But Corman got a great performance out of everyone too. I mean, this is really a just top-notch film.
It very much is. Yeah, I believe I saw it on those 4:30 movies back in the 70s for Vincent Price Week. As far as Corman's Poe films, I was always more of the Raven side of things than this one.
Stuff,
as a kid, just didn't interest me as much as the funnier stuff. But I remember the film. It just because it strikes you, right? At the that whole Masque of the Red Death, the actual mask party, masquerade at the end, is just it's powerful. It's really good. But I haven't seen it since then. I might have seen like parts of it or something, but I never really sat down to just watch it since I saw it way back when. And now I have. And oh my God, I newfound high respect for Roger Corman on this film and his actual talent for filmmaking. I mean, he displayed his talent in different ways for most films, right? Like you were kind of saying, Bill, if he hacked it out, he could make a competent story in film and it would be fun. And then this one, far more serious, far more intentional, brings in future cinematographer and director that he would often do. But here something very special, and I watched this 2 times, and the second time I kind of paid attention more to Vincent Price and marveled at his acting in this and the subtleties of what he his character was doing, especially around Francesca. You could tell what his mind was thinking, even though he never said it. And oh man, it was just delish. And how he just treated people was like, oh wow, so cold-blooded. And yeah, it was just amazing. And I had forgotten the very ending altogether. I never realized. Well, we're not going to spoil it right now, but we will spoil it when we talk about it. But the whole gathering at the end, after the masquerade, I was like, oh wow, that is so cool. And I never knew that it brought in the dwarf and the ballerina is actually from another story called Hopton, and I didn't know that until researching it for this
Mhm.
podcast. So kind of shoved those elements in, which he would do in other of his films as well. But oh my God, this blew me away. Often I'll ask, does it hold up today? And this one by far, over many others, holds up wonderfully today. It is brilliant film and should not be missed. If you haven't seen it, you need to check this one out.
Right. Or if you haven't seen it recently, watch it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Before we get into some of our segments, we have a fun little thing that we do.
Fun, he says.
Yeah, it's fun. And it is called Taglines with Chad.
Okay.
You like it? You like it?
Yeah.
3 times it makes it work. Give us some taglines, Chad.
Okay. Look into this face. Shudder at the bloodstained dance of the Red Death. Tremble to the hideous tortures of the catacombs of Kali. Gasp at the sacrifice of the innocent Virgin to the vengeance of Baal.
What's the difference between a shudder and a tremble?
I'm confused.
Trembles just keep going. Shudder's just like in the moment thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Still don't know what any of this has to do with the movie, but okay.
I thought it was about your face.
We defy you to stare into this face. Look into this face. These are all taglines, everybody.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. And some of them, I swear, I'm reading twice. I'm telling you. Shudder at the bloodstained dance of the Red Death. Tremble to the hideous tortures of the catacombs of Kali. Gasp at the sacrifice of the innocent Virgin to the vengeance of Baal. Jeff put some of these in here.
I think so.
Yeah.
Bastard. Jeff, I know you're listening. You're a bastard. Stare into this face. Good Lord.
Wow.
And count.
It's no fun for us either.
And count, if you can, the orgies of evil.
On your face? Oh, wow.
Horror has a face. Go stare into it for 5 minutes. Leave me alone.
What's the typical number of orgies of evil one should have in a face? I always thought it was like none, but
I don't know. You booger. All right. Well, that has been Taglines with Chad.
Chad's our hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
You know, I agree with Crystal. I am a hero for reading that.
Oh my gosh.
And yet I also disagree with her because it can be that bad.
Oh my goodness.
True too.
All right. Up next, we're testing out a new segment called Cast of Characters. We're going to go through each of the characters in the film. We're going to connect the actor to the face and just talk about the characters and what they do in this film. This could go 10 minutes or it could go 10 hours. We'll see what happens. But we'd like to have some feedback from you about what you think about this segment. And again, we have feedback coming up at the end of the show. We stick around for that, please. But we'd love to hear from you. And you can
read all of it.
Yeah, you can comment and on the YouTubes here. You can do it on the Gruesome Magazine website. You can do it on Facebook or Instagram, or just send an email to feedback.
Post-it note on a brick and throw it through my window.
No,
that's likely to happen.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well.
All right. Up first is Vincent Price as Prince Prospero.
Oh, he didn't do anything.
No.
Spoo,
Oh my goodness. Who wants to start off? Bill, what was your favorite description of him?
He's a jerk. He's a jerk. Douche nozzle.
A well-dressed jerk.
Yeah.
Love his costume.
He was regal. He was confident,
awful.
Right?
You know, and just evil happy to be evil, brags about being evil, wishes he
Loves
could be
it.
even eviler, but I don't know if he could be. He's everything bad about a
He even
person.
rewards people for being evil, like
Mhm.
with the masquerade stunt with
Yeah.
the
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
give
only-
him an extra pocket full of gold for setting it
Yeah.
on fire.
It was so
Yeah.
The only
entertaining.
mitigating factor he might have is that he does seem to have a genuine connection with the young girl, but it's just he's the Jeffrey Epstein of whatever century
Oh
this
I was
my
thinking.
God.
I was thinking a lot about that watching
and,
this. Yeah.
not to get into that horrible
That's
topic,
terrible.
but that's
Mhm.
kind of a rabbit hole to get into. You discover that throughout history, this keeps happening.
Yeah.
That groups, the cults, and rich people or just religious wackos start these crazy cults where it's just basically the various details change, but it's like, we are going to do whatever we're not supposed to do. We're going to do it. We're going to.
It's usually nerds that can't get laid in real life. They start a cult.
Yeah.
Well,
and
yeah,
idiots
like,
follow it,
yeah.
and it always ends badly. Always, it never doesn't end badly.
And what is he the prince of? 'Cause apparently he's out to decimate his subjects one by one as they approach his castle. Kill them all except for the little girl.
Yeah.
Well, except for the little girl, which probably backfired.
Yeah.
But he did care. He did show just a bit of humanity when by caring for Francesca, because he allows her, to leave at the end.
To what end, though, Doc? To what end?
Well, not to his end, but he did. I mean,
he's like every guy on a first date. He's putting on a fake front to get what he wants.
I think he did kind of respect that she wasn't corrupted and didn't seem to even be corruptible, and he's so far on the other end. So there's that. The thing about bad people is they often have this idea that they are, in their own warped sense, honorable. And so a lot of times, especially in comic books and stuff, it ends up being that they can respect a worthy opponent. And there was a touch of that in there, I guess. But this is, I think, with Vincent Price, the only character I can think of off the top of my head that even comes close to being this despicable in Vincent Price's acting is the Conqueror Worm.
I was going to say Witchfinder General.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a good villain, and I think you're absolutely right that part of what makes a good villain is something you can relate to, or something that that you can understand that their humanity, or they think that they're doing something. But I really have a hard time finding that with him here. Even and I mean, like I said, I like good villains. But even his his motivation for being a Satanist was basically just to know more and keep knowing more and to know everything and to win,
Yeah.
And then even when he sent off Francesca, I think I feel like there was maybe a little bit there, but I'm sure he thought he was going with her.
He did. He did.
So it was like, he's just gonna go be with her. He's just sent her off, and then he will be there. So I think he's a really, really, really bad guy.
He is.
So despicable and so debauched.
If the MCU was around back in when this movie was made, he would make a cool Dr. Doom.
I mean, his evil was unwavering. He
was committed to it. You got to give him credit.
He was very committed to it. He spent his life devoted to it.
Yeah, well, he did, and brought on everybody else he could to it. But he did treat Francesca a lot differently than he treated Juliana, who, at least in this period of, maybe before the film, he did. Right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, one other redeemable thing about him is he had complete and utter contempt for all the other people that were following him.
Yeah.
Which and they deserve that. They truly did. But there's not much to like about this guy. But except his style. He does have style.
He's got great style.
Style goes along with it.
He does have power, and
He's a snappy dresser.
charisma and all this other thing.
Charisma, yeah,
And then
all that
he,
stuff.
he believes he's doing right. Like when he kills all the left, there's like a dozen, maybe a half a dozen villagers left after the Red Plague. He kills them, but in his view, he's giving them mercy.
Yeah. Like he would put someone out of their misery.
Mhm.
Yeah. Out of the potential of dying miserably. Yeah.
So, he's like a good villain. The villain always thinks they are 100% right.
Yeah.
All right.
His answer to every problem is a good crossbow bolt right to the heart.
Yes, and man, his aim was good. Hazel Court is Juliana, who is his maiden at his side, I suppose, is what you would say she is.
If he's a jerk, she's a jerkess.
A jerkess.
Yeah, she was great. Yeah.
But, oh my gosh,
awesome
wasn't she?
character. Yeah.
What great screams she had. And she was definitely full on to what everything Prospero was delivering. She was buried under his charm.
Yeah. And and I love the sexiness too that she I mean, there was everything in this movie. Sex was definitely, part of it, even if it wasn't super overt. It was more like kind of icky and stuff. But she was committed, body and soul to this. Yeah. I thought she was a great character.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets her, everything what goes around comes around, right? So everything her demise was interesting and fun. And the dreams, she's the one that had all the dreams, right?
Yeah.
Weird.
Some of those felt a little padded. Like, we got to hit whatever the rate was, but yeah, it was fine. I always liked the actress.
I wonder if that was I was doing different research and reading different things about what was cut and what wasn't cut, and that those scenes were mentioned quite a few times. They look tame now, but I wonder if they were really that risque then, or I don't know. What do you guys think?
64 is pretty early on in things.
Because it
compared
definitely
to what was on TV in 1964, this was pretty out there.
And it definitely made me think about Rosemary's Baby came later, but just that whole kind of vibe they did. It was interesting that it was in there, is that you definitely knew what it was alluding to. And that was kind of intense. There's a lot of really intense, surprisingly bad, evil things happening in this movie.
Absolutely. Well, let's flip the coin over for Francesca, as played by Jane Asher, who is the innocent and the uncorruptible. And instead of joining his side, she just basically gives up, right?
I love this character. She's basically us, right? As he's showing all this stuff that she's basically the audience. Gives him a reason to explain what's going on, what he's doing, why he does it. And as he's doing that, he's sort of trying to corrupt her, I think. But she did a great job, because you didn't quite ever get the feeling that, hey, I can get into this. I can go along with this. But she was still curious about why he was so evil, and so I thought it was an interesting character.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. She's the moral code, right? She's the opposite of what Prospero represents.
She's the inversion of the Christian idea of that the greatest thing is when a sinner is brought into God, the prodigal son, and all that. And here, this would be just the greatest triumph for a Satanist to take someone who is so good and decent and corrupt them and bring them into the fold. So, here she is, these poor girl from a horrifying village where everyone's dying of the plague, and now she's wearing gold and jewelry, and doesn't have to starve, and it's if you're going to be tempted,
and she continually wants to give her own life up for her father and her fiance, who also would give their lives up for them. So these three really represent,
and that often becomes a theme. Even something like Harry Potter, that ultimately what trips these evil people up is they just have an overwhelming fear of death. They know it's the best they can hope for is oblivion, and the worst is some kind of punishment for all the evil that they did. Whereas the good people are willing to give up that most precious thing, life, for their loved ones, and that alone, it just separates them from the evil.
Yeah.
Which is a great
I also
personification of it.
kind of like what Chad was mentioning. I really thought it was interesting how she kind of played this, like she wasn't she like didn't look away. She voiced her concerns, and her, not even concerns, but like her outrage of what was happening. But she she watched everything. She was there. And I thought that was really interesting. You could see her strength in that, and that she, like you said, she was willing to give up her life. She was willing to stay there and live there if it meant freedom for her father and her fiance. And she knew what that meant. She was like, after this, I'm dying, I'm dead. She's just letting it go. She's giving up. But she definitely, there was strength in that also.
Yep.
I thought it was but it wasn't like overdone. It was just kind of very subtle, but very real kind of there, the way she did it.
Yeah. And the camera adores her, and the red hair is gorgeous. And the red hair, I would suspect, is chosen on purpose.
Yeah, right? Well, it makes her a counterpoint to Hazel Court's character too.
Well, that, and he forbids Red to be at the party, so but she's got this bright red hair, so
I didn't catch that. Yeah,
always represents what he can't defeat. So, so that's me reaching, but I think it's right. I think it's
yeah.
I think you're
that's valid.
Oh, I also liked how the colors of the costumes, especially we brought up her hair. There was kind of like a blue dress or robe that she wore a lot that just, it was just beautiful with her hair. All of the costumes were.
The set design and costumes is off the chart.
And we're probably going to talk about this later, but I just can't believe that these were like sets and costumes from something else that he just used. I mean,
that's right. That's
perfect. But yeah, not to get off topic, but Francesca was a great character.
And her fiance is Gino, played by David Weston. Young, brave, and defiant. Yeah, that's pretty much what he is. He doesn't get a whole lot of time to expand on that, even though he is shown to be the hero at the end. It still isn't his film. It isn't his story.
Right. No. If when I was a kid watching this, if I was going to identify with anyone, it was death, which kind of alarming. Now I say it out loud. I saw death really as the hero of the film.
Something I liked about Gino was how he was very defiant, but like when he was talking to death, maybe he thought it was God, but he admitted his fears and his shortcomings in his view about what he could or couldn't do to save the people he cared about. So I thought that was really interesting. He had a very small part, but it was clear that kind of what he represented and that kind of the humanity in the face of this gross stuff.
And he basically saved 3 people doing that, including himself.
He is young, he is brave, and he is defiant. I don't think he's the sharpest tool in the shed.
Well, that's a different story altogether. I think the sharpest tool is Francesca.
I think
but I do like that when he admitted all that to death, that basically death chose who to save, and because if he hadn't popped up then he probably would have just wiped everybody out. And but maybe the child may have been the one that seemed to be solely his choice. But the pure innocent. But I really like that interaction, and it made I don't remember understanding any of that watching it back in the day. I didn't understand the narrative or what it was, the purpose of it or anything, or the consequence of it. But it's incredibly fascinating now. I mean, even in these times, it still resonates.
Mm-hmm.
Up next is Alfredo, who has some of the best lines.
Second
not really.
grossest guy.
Yes, he doesn't have the best lines. The best lines are between Prospero and Juliana. The dialogue there is great, but
And he's the most flammable of all the others.
well, he is the most
Very
flammable.
flammable. Yeah.
Oh, he was great
yeah.
and horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, when he was lit at the party, he was lit at the party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. He was so gross from the very beginning. Just
Oh yeah.
salivating over just his entertainment. Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
gross.
Yes.
He's looking at that little ballerina like, yikes.
Oh,
I mean, there's no.
God. The whole thing about the wine, if she was adult size, she would spill it on everybody. And it's like, oh my God, you
Oh, God.
jerk.
Even Prospero's kind of like, tone it down, dude. Jesus, gross.
You
what is wrong with you?
This guy.
I know we're Satanists and everything, but God,
I feel like I need to take a shower.
Yeah.
But he also has so much. Well, I guess not talking about the character. We're talking. We're not supposed to talk about the actor, but he has so much charisma, and that adds to the grossness of this because
And his cadence too.
yeah,
The cadence of the character.
you got to
Yeah.
keep an eye on him.
Yeah,
You know what? Everybody knows it.
If Prospero, accidentally falls off the castle walls or something, this guy's the new evil
oh
prince.
yeah,
Yeah.
Who's got
I don't like his bottom lip.
No, you don't.
I never trust a guy with a lip like that.
Like that.
ever.
No, don't. No, he's doing some bad things. But he also thought he was Prospero's equal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when Prospero throws the wine in his face,
Mhm.
he gets very.
Oh yeah. No, this is one of those Putin's
Reactive.
best friends who accidentally fall out of windows. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
In this case,
one of them was going to kill the other, no question.
somebody took care of that for him.
Yeah, and that's
That
what
was
happens.
fun.
You're being a Prospero-sized jerk without having all that, power and money. So did it to the wrong little person.
He doesn't have his years in yet.
No, not yet. Speaking of that, is Hop Toad, played by Skip
Yay,
Martin.
Hop Toad.
This is one of the two characters that are from a shorter story. That was a wrap into this. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Oh my God.
Wow.
Pun intended, but it was a bad pun.
Send those
Unintended,
postcards
but
to
hilarious.
Doc, care of Decades of Horror.
Wow, that just.
Oh, man up, everybody.
Yeah.
But I liked this character. I liked his plotting and when one thing. Okay, so it's one part of the story that I don't know how it resolved. So because he was doing this particular act with at the Masque, the Red Death at the the masquerade at midnight, he told the ballerina she didn't need to come down. For the for the party, you won't be necessary. He's got it covered, and boy, did he! What happened to her? We don't. Did she pass away too?
no.
But she wasn't at the party.
No,
What
made it
happened
out.
to her?
Death
She made
mentions
it out.
that she
Yeah.
was one of the survivors.
Oh, did he? Oh, I
Yeah.
missed that. I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he said something like grab a cloak and be ready to go. And so I interpreted that after he did what he did at the ball, he tailed it out of there.
Oh, did he make it too?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Death
See,
mentions the hero and the heroine, the little girl, the ballerina, and the little person.
Well,
I
the ballerina
missed that
person was
both times.
played by a child, but wasn't
Yeah.
she supposed to be a little person as well?
Mhm.
She
yeah,
was.
I don't think she was voiced by the child. I think she
No,
had
no, that was
adult
pretty
voice.
obviously dubbed.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love this character. Oh my gosh.
I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was his daughter or,
I
but
didn't know either.
Oh.
Yeah.
I took it as they were both adults.
yeah,
okay. Yeah, I did
that's
too.
how I took it.
Okay.
But-
Yeah.
And
Not related, Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I may be imagining this, and if I am, I'm sure that someone will send us a letter and their name will rhyme with Jerry Chandler. But I think that this was actually based on an actual event that happened that some folks dressed up as orangutans. As I remember the story, they put, wore clothes and put pitch on it and covered themselves with hair and everything, and were doing all this, and somehow they caught on fire and were horribly burned.
Oh, too bad.
Just, yeah, well,
Interesting.
Plus, him and his ballerina made it out with a bag of gold that Prospero.
Oh, he did.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't have a chance to read the story about this character. I did have a chance to read the Masque of the Red Death, but ran out of time to read. I think it's called Hop Frog, actually, in the book. But
you might be right. Yeah.
But he's definitely called Hop Toad in the movie. But I'm really interested in reading that because I am curious about that. His story, even if it's not necessarily accurate or isn't kept in this movie, but very interesting character. All of the characters, I wonder, how did they get here? The characters were fleshed out enough for me that I was like, okay, how did Esmeralda and Hop Toad get here? How did he get them?
Well, they were hired entertainment, right? So,
but they
never left.
Yep. And same with the other woman whose name I can't remember right now. It's like, was she once
Juliana?
Woman? Yeah. Was Juliana once a young innocent, or did she go in? It just, these characters were all interesting to me that I'm like, okay, so how do they get here? What happens?
So Bill, you are absolutely right, and so are you. It is Hop Frog, and it's based on a story and incident, as you said, in 1393, where French King Charles VI and 5 of his lords dressed and chained themselves as wild men at a masquerade, and their costumes caught on fire from a stray spark. 4 of the lords died, and it's come to known as Ball of the Burning Men in French. But
did the king live?
My notes do not tell me.
Oh, because that would.
But
have
he's
to
got a 20% chance of he was the one that lived.
Yeah, jeez.
What
a stupid reason to die. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, stay away from pitch, ladies and gentlemen. It's highly flammable.
It's not what it's all hyped up to be.
Yeah. Use spirit
looks fun.
Crozade like a normal person.
All right. The father is
De Niro.
Ludovico, and played by Nigel Green. What? De Niro doesn't really have that big of a part. But he does have a moment in the film that is very significant with the knives, which was really well done. The whole thing when he's taking the knives and plop them into the, for each kind of grouping of people around him he's talking about, and then they come up and they have one of them is dipped in poison that will kill them in 5 seconds, and I love they kept repeating 5 seconds.
I like his of the quiet strength, the kind of, like you wrote there, paternal figure. He definitely had a presence, even if he didn't really have much of
and
the story.
Extremely well cast.
Yes. Not much else to say about that character. But then we have the Red Death itself. At one point, the mask is pulled off, and it looks like a reflection of Vincent Price, of course, or Prospero. And I didn't realize, remembering the film from ago and then seeing it now, I didn't remember Death had such a huge part in it. I thought he just showed up and things went crappy, but no, he has dialogue. He's interacting with the characters at the end and at the beginning, really, right? And it was incredibly fascinating how this character both interpreted what Prospero was saying for his own good and then challenging him too. It was what a great character.
Yeah, super crafty.
Yes. Is the character like that in the book?
It's really just a really kind of short story, and you don't really get to see that. There isn't really that much of dialogue. There is a dialogue between the two of them, but it's really fleshed out more here. Yeah. there is some challenging and stuff, but they did a really good job here doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great example of adaptation
Mm-hmm.
to films, which we're currently having a hard time getting that to work in a lot of things, but they've gotten better in the past year or two, I would say, actually. But sometimes they mess up.
Well, I like, it's a good example of, not staying totally, word for word with the original, source material, but using the medium in a way that really, adds to it, like we're talking about the discussion and the color and all that stuff. I mean, that it really fills in all those spots perfectly that you couldn't get from reading it.
Yeah, and the other, I guess, agents of death, the other plagues, are the other colors at the end. Is that what I was interpreting? Is that what it was, right?
Yeah.
Do we know what the other colors represented?
Well, I did see references to other things, but I don't know where that interpretation came from. Because watching the movie, I understood that there may be different ways to die, but I didn't get like specific color.
Well, the
yellow
Black Plague
is
was the only one.
We've always said the Black Plague.
Yeah, the Black Plague, but I may have missed that. But I the second time I watched it, I was kind of wondering.
Cholera was always seen as a yellow.
Okay.
Yellow fever.
Yeah.
Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis. I mean, was there one that where you spit
later,
up
right?
green goo? I don't know. But
somebody will know and tell us.
Yeah, and I did see that it was someone had listed them, but I didn't pick up on that on my own, but I didn't really know what each of those colors maybe represented. So,
okay. Well, that's it for our cast of characters. Again, we're asking for feedback. What did you guys think of this segment? Should we keep it? Let us know. Let's take a look at some posters now. This poster.
Oh, there's all those orgies they were talking about. Yeah,
yes.
It's right in his
face, right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, a girl's butt is his nose.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is a great picture. Oh, I love
awesome.
this picture.
Yeah.
That's not a nose.
The little right.
What does it smell like? But it's just
it's so good.
Great piece of art. Great piece of art. And what is that? Pathy color?
By the way, so here are the color. White is tuberculosis. Yellow, what Chad said, yellow fever. Orange is scurvy, which ironically could be cured by eating oranges. So go figure. Yeah. Blue is cholera. Violet is influenza, and black is the bubonic plague.
Right.
Interesting.
I don't know what red is, though.
The Red Death.
Well, that's not its medical term.
No, it's not its medical term. All right. Here's the second poster.
It symbolizes blood, disease, horror, and inevitable mortality.
Red is anthrax.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Bad joke. Masque of the Red Death, right there.
This looks very Italian. This looks like an Italian poster. And unless I'm wrong, is that not Italian words? Detective Mulligan cracks the case once again.
Way to go, Bill.
I love how they incorporated all the colors in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But there's no Vincent Price.
Also like how they take the word Technicolor and make every letter a different color. Like we're too stupid to figure out how color works. But okay.
It's great. I mean, the artwork's great on it.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah, but there's red. And, oh wow. And for some reason, until I spoke, I thought that death was actually a red portion of her
dress.
Gown. Yeah, and then no, it's actually death. Wow, my eyes play tricks on me. All right, I wish we had more posters, but we have two. But I'm sure there's more. But Roger Corman. Bill, talk about the films you selected to highlight because they all have a theme.
They're all, I mean, each one of these is actually based loosely on Poe. What did I leave? Well, except Haunted Palace, which is Lovecraft, but he didn't quite have the press that Poe had. Yeah, he took this and went with it, and I think it was really the thing that made people think of Corman in a different light. This is where he really went from just being Attack of the Crab Monsters guy, which I love unreservedly. I love all those crazy Poe movies.
Special
but
place in my heart.
These ones were more prestige productions, and he put more into it and spent more on them. And people did start seeing him in a different light after this. They're well done. They're well done. I love Pit and the Pendulum, and very influential too. I mean, you watch Sleepy Hollow, Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, and just see, wow, there's whole chunks that are just lifted from Pit and the Pendulum, and just the vibe of it. They've really lasted, and they still hold up. It will be interesting, because I suspect I heard someone told me there may be another one of these coming down the pike pretty soon.
There might be.
So
there might be.
Could be.
Oh,
Which ones have we not done yet?
We've only done this and The Raven, I think.
Oh wow! So we got a few to go through.
Right.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'll tell you, people out there in movie land, all of these will be done.
And there's, oh my gosh, we could talk about his films, but that would be an entire podcast. So we'll leave that at that. But yeah, when you watch this film, if you didn't respect Corman, you will find a newfound respect for him. It is it's the accomplishment.
Yeah,
of
I mean,
his career,
even when he did make a stinker, it was one people remembered.
Oh yeah,
and are still popular today.
Because they had stories. Okay, yes, sometimes the monster was ridiculous, and it didn't always end up being a classic, but he understood story structure. Which I'm not going to get on my high horse, but boy, I went to see a movie the other day, and it was quite good. But if these movies are anything like the trailers, I don't know what's going on. They were terrible. And trailers usually should make you, take the best parts of a movie and make you want to see it. Then you realize, oh, all the good parts are in the trailers. Well, there were no good parts. So I don't know what
dear God.
Yeah, and
tell us what that is offline.
I couldn't tell you what the story was at all. No clue.
All right. Well, he was also pretty famous for bringing on a lot of talent early in their careers. People that in the 70s and 80s and long after that would forge the genre ahead, and other films as well. And for this one, we have to talk about Nicolas Roeg, who did the cinematography, and it's exquisite. It's beautiful. I don't think I can even. We'd have to make up a new word. It's really so beautiful to watch. I was so, but of course he directed Don't Look Now, The Man Who Fell to Earth, and Witches, and then he did the cinematography on Fahrenheit 451, among other films. And there's a whole catalog of stuff he did. But let's talk about the cinematography just for a little bit. I know we've mentioned it throughout, but he's Dabney, for you. This is a period piece, and this one really marries the costume design and the cinematography together in a beautiful way. Did you catch all that? What did you think about all that together?
Well, I thought that I was thinking a lot about it, like the collaboration, that you could really see how all of them together were important for the story. Even like the painting of the colors of the different rooms, the color of like the giant bathtub that she was, I mean, just how ornate that was. All just it was like saturated. Everything was saturated in but the way also that it went with the sets, especially the sets where death was most of the time,
Yes.
out on the pathway, and just the kind of uncanny, or I was
Yeah, it's
trying
kind
to
of
think
a
the right
Uncanny
word.
Valley Earthwise,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It all, and the colors on that too, like the blue, like those weren't saturated. Those were like dusty colors and blue and black and gray, and the wood that the old lady was carrying. It's like all those things together is what built that world that brought you to this place where all this horrible stuff was happening. And that really, really stuck with me. And then the costumes for the different characters, just kind of Juliana's costumes, just so the colors chosen for them and the cuts, just really kind of with her sultriness and seductiveness and the sex to it, and the innocent girl, and how, you know, her being dirty and then clean and then so it was such a part of the story, and for me it felt like a really obvious part of their character to help you get the character without being over the top. And that was really what stuck with me when I was watching it.
Yeah, I love a film when you can see everything. There's so many films that will come up and there'll be a scene where it's dark and you just can't really see.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, except for when it's on purpose. When it's on purpose, that's a different story. But a lot of times, I mean, some of them are like just terrible at it. Like when we mentioned it on the 70s, like was it Dracula versus Frankenstein? The end of that, but you just can't say shit. But so I mean, but yeah, this you
the
can
set design is so beautiful.
Yeah, and maybe you guys could maybe talk about, because you guys know more about lighting and stuff. But I was thinking about the colors in the rooms, especially because the black was so matte, and you know, the other colors they were all kind of matte, but they had a lot of intensity to them. It just made me think a lot about like lighting and stuff, because those were a part of the story too. The colors, the different colored rooms, and kind of like, what the heck was going on here? So that made me think more just about like the cinematography, in the sense that how were those things lit, and how, you know, things that you're not supposed to think about because they're part of the story. But when you start looking at movies a little bit more, it's not because you're distracted from the story. You're just more of like, how do they do that? Or, you know, like that is so cool. And
it almost feels like a lost art now, because it's possible now to do all that in post. But there's a look and a vibe that these old films have that it doesn't seem like it's possible to recapture so well. I think you can do it in post. You don't get the same effect. And I was struck actually watching it, because I remember that last shot, the final scene of the different deaths walking. And in my head, it was just bright, brilliant Technicolor colors. And watching it now, it is beautiful, but it's not gaudy. The way I remembered it in my head as being gaudy. And I think that was just my imagination. I think it looked as it does now, which is much more effective. Really well done.
Yeah, and to have such bright light and still be atmospheric is a achievement. Is achievement. All right, well, let's get into the cast, and we'll start off with Vincent Price, who technically has a dual role.
Yeah.
Oh man,
what can you say?
We've
talked about this guy a billion times, and
I know, but there's a lot to talk about this particular role, I think. Like,
it's what he brought to it. He brought that evil, but he brought it in a way that only he can do it. That where it's not so bombastic and it's just so matter of fact. The way he portrays being evil, you know, like that's how I live my life every day. So this is how I look at it. This is how I live life. Yeah, kill them and save the girl, or and it's so matter of fact. It's brilliant, I think, because he really brought that home. All this evil stuff going on around him, and he just takes it in like it's just an everyday occurrence. Is a brilliant way to go about that role, I think.
Yeah, there is some subtlety in it too. The one scene, because I watched it twice. The second time, as I said earlier, I watched Vincent Price more keenly. There's a scene when, he's talking to Francesca. I can't remember exactly when it is. I'm not really sure, but he almost leans in for a kiss. And you could feel that he wants to kiss her. I mean, you could see it. And then, of course, he just straightens back up. And he also expresses his frustration at the beginning when the lady's screaming and they can't shut him up. And it's brilliant acting. Later when at the knives, and he's counting the 5 and you can see him like looking around like, when are these guys going to die? You can see him in, the anticipation and for him taking so long is actually like taking a toll on him, where everybody else was like glued to their seats. He was like, come on, all right.
Yeah.
And there was some tension there.
Yes. Even though you knew how it was going to go. It was kind of obvious. It's a rule isn't that a rule of filmmaking or screenwriting? You can't have the first lead do it, right?
I'm sorry I interrupted you, Chad.
Huh?
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Oh, no. I was just, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
You're good.
And of course, talking about a number of the films he did.
So much.
You picked the ones that are around this time. So
around this time, because I mean, if you say, the films of Vincent Price, it's like, well, okay, next 5 slides, and we wouldn't see our faces or anything, which is good because some of our faces make people shudder and tremble. But I mean, these are all fun films, with, for me, the exception of Dr. Goldfoot and the Girl Bombs. Just.
Sometimes cheese needs to be.
I can never remember because I don't want to remember. I want to deny that Mario Bava had anything to do with any film that had Dr. Goldfoot, but it was Dr. Goldfoot and the Girl Bombs, and then there was another one. And if you watch them together, it's about 3 hours, and I defy you to laugh once. And
there's a lot of reasons why
nitrous oxide. Maybe that'll make it work. Terrible.
Did we do one of them or?
No,
we haven't.
Going to do that to torture me. It's like, hey, Bill, guess what? Next time we're going to do a Mario Bava film, and I'm going to be like, yay! Wait a minute, and drop that right on me.
Yeah, there's a top 10 countdown we need to do. So.
Last Man on Earth is another one of my favorite roles of his.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So good.
He was so good at doing the comedy horror that after a while that became pretty much it. But when you get something like Conqueror Worm or Last Man on Earth, he's perfectly capable of doing it straight. And Tony, he was accused of being a hammy actor, and he could be, especially when it was appropriate. He's supposed to be a hammy actor in some of them. It's part of the charm of it all. But
yeah, watch Theater of Death in '73. That's
exactly
what it's about.
That's exactly what it was about. And Dr. Phibes wouldn't be Dr. Phibes without that flamboyance. And he has some of that here too, but there's a real serious undercurrent of just evil.
Well, and I feel like The Last Man on Earth, especially if you see the later movies of that story and then you go back, it still holds. It still holds.
That's the best interpretation of I Am Legend.
Yeah, it's it's great.
If that movie had been done by the original director, it would have been something.
Who was the original director?
I'm drawing a blank. It was a famous German director who did Dr. Mabuse. Was it Fritz Lang? Fritz Lang was attached to it, and somehow it ended up being a guy who I don't know that he ever did anything of any note ever again. It's amazing it's as good as it is. But and it was originally it was going to be a Hammer movie, and the censors in Britain basically said no. And they're like, what can we do to change this? And they're like, no. They just, for whatever reason, one of the
Straight up
censors
no.
or some of them just refused to allow this to be made. So,
have you ever watched any of Vincent Price's non-genre work, like earlier than in the 50s?
Dragonwick. Yeah. He was
he's brilliant. He really, I mean, yes, he is brilliant, and he really can act his ass off too, and he's funny in other roles as well. So.
But he was so good at Menace, you could see he was not going to last as a leading man. He just didn't fit that trope. He wasn't good. If they have Cary Grant and Vincent Price, you know who's going to be the hero and who's going to be, you know, not the hero.
And not the hero.
I haven't seen War Gods of the Deep. I'm interested because Tab Hunter's in it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just because I think about him in polyester. But so is that any good? War Gods of the Deep?
It's been a long time. I remember thinking the lizard men, the gill men were not a patch on the rear end of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Who is?
Yeah, that's true.
It's been so long. So I feel like Vincent Price was like the leader of, you know, the War Gods, or boy, I need to revisit that.
The poster's kind of cool. I like the green.
Yeah.
I guess it's on the short list now.
The only thing I can't remember, did Vincent Price ever play a dumb person, a dumb character?
Nothing's jumping to him.
Yeah. See, that's what held him back from being a leading man.
Yeah.
You know, because leading men sometimes have to be kind of dumb and everything. And no, Vincent Price, he walks in there. It's like, oh, this guy's the villain. He's smart. He knows he's smart. He thinks he's smarter than everyone in the room. He is. Yeah. Villain, you say. Hazel Court. Some wonderful things. A lot of red with her. I didn't realize how much red was with her. You're right, Chad. That blood is top notch.
It is, yeah. That's Dick Smith blood, if I ever seen it.
It does look like Dick Smith blood. They should have sent some of that over to Hammer with, you know, a recipe.
Yeah. They sent them all the pink house paint.
I thought the scar was really well done too. The burn, it's not a scar, but the burn, as you could see it kind of like getting a little flaky if you know, like it flaking off and stuff. Yeah, that was really good.
And they did a good job with the picture at the top when she's actually doing it. I thought it was, great character moment, great. And she did a great job of it.
She was great.
And man, could she scream. She screamed a storm. I didn't.
Gonna marry Satan. Let's see how that works out for you.
Yeah.
And of course, if
honeymoon's over.
You're a fan of the film she was in, I am certain.
She was in a lot of great stuff.
Yeah. Curse of Frankenstein. The Raven.
This has got one of my all-time favorite movies, and it's not the one that it should be, but I love Devil Girl from Mars.
Oh, really?
Oh, I think Devil Girl from Mars is one of the greatest movies ever made. I could go on for hours. And one day we shall.
Yeah, it's moving up on my list.
Pants movie.
I did not expect that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Curse of Frankenstein is the great movie on this list. And Dr. Blood's Coffin is probably the one at the bottom. But if you said to me right now, you got to pick one of these to go, you know, after this podcast, you got to go watch one of them. Oh, it's not even close. Devil Girl.
Yep. The Raven, of course. That's the one you're going to go watch.
Yeah. And she didn't even play the Devil Girl. She's actually just, you know, the whole movie is nothing but a bunch of people sitting in a pub. And every now and then they look, you know, the music goes done, and you look over and there's the Devil Girl, and she like flings the curtains and talks a bunch of crap to them, and they can't do anything about it. And then she leaves. This is repeated at least 6 or 7 times in the movie. What I just described the entire repetitive plot of Devil Girl from Mars. And I think Hazel is one of the humans there. She's actually like, you know, just a regular person, which tells you how awesome Devil Girl is. If Hazel Court is just another lady.
Plays a lot on Dr. Tongue's 3D House of Horror.
Yeah.
All right. Jane Asher is in this, and she was only 17 when she was filming this.
Wow.
Yeah.
She
turned
did
18
great.
in April of 64. Yeah,
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Because she looked older and wiser beyond her years.
Yeah.
I did when I saw that she was 17. I was just like, holy cow.
Yeah, but also still
No way.
innocent.
Yeah.
Great. It was great.
Her costumes were great too.
Yeah, so beautiful. And she looked good and comfortable in them. You know, I mean, it was from where she came from, and then just kind of,
But you also got the feeling that she didn't care about any of it.
Oh no, absolutely not.
You know, she's like, because he kept dressing her up in all these fancy, and you just know she could care less about any of that.
Didn't care about it. Yeah, but she had the grace with them.
Yeah,
they were. Yeah, like didn't get in her way or anything. Yeah.
Hey, you know who else is happy to see Prospero die? Bears.
Bears, because of all of his fur, or what?
Look at all the bears. They get bears' heads.
Oh,
like a
yes.
bear head.
Walls, yes.
Just like,
Bears, like
and the one in the middle just looks like, what did I do?
I wasn't even growling.
No. They probably
I was
put
just
a
over
salt
eating
lick
this
out there.
salmon.
They left a big pile of salmon and then they shot him with a crossbow.
That's illegal, isn't it?
Not for Prospero.
Then we have Mr. Weston, who was also in a Doctor Who episodes with the Fourth Doctor and the movie Witchcraft, and Beckett. Now Beckett's here for a reason, because you alluded to this, Daphne. A lot of the costuming and sets were borrowed from Beckett. In true Roger Corman fashion, right?
What's the top? Perfect. What's the top picture on the right? Is that Goat Boy the movie?
No, that's the character he played in Doctor
Who. Oh, okay. That looks like a Doctor Who character.
Yep. That's
okay.
Yep. Let's see. I had the name of it, but let's move on to Patrick McGee, because
look at him.
Yes,
look at that.
I love this guy.
Son of a
I think he ate more scenery than Vincent Price did.
It was definitely a contest.
Yeah.
And he was a great.
Every frame we show is a canvas here. I mean, look at blue candles. Why? But why not? They look great. There's just lovely splashes of color. This one, the production value is off the charts. It's so un-Corman-like.
Yeah.
And the top ones when he has that mask, not at the ball, but he has a mask on, walking around the thing and runs into Francesca. Right?
Yeah.
Run.
He's holding a flashlight under his head.
Yes. That's candlelight, by the way. All right. Here's a couple films. Here's a couple films.
He was in a lot of good stuff.
Clockwork Orange. Oh man, he was amazing in Clockwork Orange.
He was so good in Clockwork Orange.
Have some wine.
Black Cat, Tales from the Crypt. Oh yeah, all of them good. Now he was okay. So was it Tales from the Crypt? He was the blind man.
Yeah. He was the blind guy that got everybody pumped up to get the guy. And in Asylum, I loved the role he played in Asylum too. Wasn't he like the doctor in the wheelchair?
Yeah, that had the robot come and get him. The little team.
He could really play smoldering anger. You know, just sitting there trying to hold it in, and he was so good. He was fun in this too, and you were so happy to see him die horribly.
Oh yeah, that was intense. I did not see that coming.
It was not a good end.
He was also in The Skull.
Oh, and by the way, for those who've been worried about it, the king did actually survive in the real life version of that tale.
Very good.
Uh,
He's kept
because a lady there, while this was all going on, apparently smothered his flaming body with her skirt. They wore those big giant skirts and everything, and she, hopped on them and probably singed her nether regions, but she saved the king's life, and I suspect was probably richly rewarded.
I would imagine.
That's all. That survival is almost as embarrassing as dying would have been from that way, but yeah.
I
The
didn't
French.
remember what he played in Dementia 13. It's been a long time since I've seen Dementia 13, but I don't remember his role in that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was also in The Skull and Die Monster Die.
We did the Black Cat, didn't we? We did the Black Cat.
Which one is that?
Oh, wait, there's been a few.
Oh, I can't read the fine
The
print.
one by Lucio Fulci?
It was 1981. He played Professor Robert Miles. And that is by Lucio Fulci. Yep.
My memory dims, but those are the things that stick with me.
All right. Up next is Nigel Green.
I love Nigel Green. I wish he'd made more movies. He was such a presence, and he is my all-time favorite Hercules. I will die on that hill. He is so good in Jason and the Argonauts. He's like a real person, like what if Hercules existed, this is what he would be. Really athletic, super charismatic, a natural leader. Everyone's happy to see him. Everyone wants him to go on adventures with him. Little arrogant, little bit past his prime, which I thought was just like the most fascinating thing. He's got some gray in the beard and all, but he's got the chops. That guy, he had just charisma oozing from him. And then every time I see him, I like him in films. And it to me, it's just a real tragedy. He had a kind of a sad ending.
Oh no, what happened?
Yeah. I believe he may have committed suicide, or I don't know if it was accidental or on purpose. I mean, obviously, if it was suicide, it'd be on purpose. But
1972. He's only 47.
Yeah. So I think the last film I remember seeing him in was Countess Dracula. I think that was one of the last ones that he was in. He was a great performance there. The guy he had a presence. And I love Zulu. Zulu is like maybe one of my all-time, probably in my top 5 non-genre films that I would take to that desert island.
Well, he was great in here, even though, like we said,
not a big role.
He did have presence for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's the perfect actor for the father figure in this. He just has to be there, and it just oozes out of him.
I can't believe that this guy would sacrifice himself for his daughter, and he's able to put that out there.
And you could understand why she is devoted to him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Next up is Skip Martin.
Oh yeah.
Who is all about Vampire Circus for me. But he's also in Corridors of Blood and Psycho Circus and Horror Hospital. Horror Hospital, I remember. There's a picture of him with Michael Goff. I don't know if I know or remember the other films. I mean,
Well, Son of Dracula is not very memorable. It's got Ringo Starr. And not good.
I thought he did great in here. I really liked his character, and I thought he did a good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting a little Tyrion Lannister Game of Thrones vibes too. They underestimate him. They underestimate someone because.
Well, and he totally. I bought that when he was playing. Playing all like he didn't care when he was trying to, get the guy to let him dress him up as an ape. It's like, oh, I like big women or whatever he was saying. He just seemed, I totally bought that he's being a creep, but then you saw, no, he was just playing this guy. Yeah.
And last but not least, death. The red death.
That bottom shot is just a piece of work. It's gorgeous, and it really uses the wide screen to its absolute advantage.
Well, and like I was saying before, I just love how the background color is just so it's just dusty and different. It just contrasts with the kind of
complements that.
Yeah, so well.
I love the use of blacks.
Unreal. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the use of blacks in this reminds me of that How Draw the Comics the Marvel Way when they talked about the inking.
Spotting black.
Yeah. Because you use it to balance though.
Because sometimes
go
ahead.
I was just going to say, as far as the light sources and stuff like that, the light source is coming from above, so that's not particularly what the backdrop is saying there, but because it's showing that it's dark all around, but the background actually makes these figures pop more. But even though the lighting doesn't work for what they're trying to present there, they went for the more artistic expression of it and made something that will make these characters like pop out and stand out more.
Which gives it an otherworldly feel. Which it needs with these characters. So
and sometimes you would see this effect, and this is one of my favorite effects, which I wish they would use more in films. There's this weird illusion that you get if you have like very vivid red, especially if it's rimmed in black in front of blue. It creates a three-dimensional effect without the need of glasses or anything. I don't know exactly how it works. There's some scientific explanation for it, but the red appears to be forward and the blue appears to recede.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool effect.
And I love how the bareness of the trees and the branches and the kind of the death of the natural world around it. It just adds to it without, it's just perfect. It's just perfect.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, the idea of a personification of death has always been a cool one. And when it's done well, like it is here, or Seventh Seal, or Sandman, it can really, really be effective.
And I like that they went with these multi, like there wasn't just one main black character death. It was red and yellow. There's multiple. Was just an interesting thing to me.
Yeah,
to kind of think more about them. It's not just a singular death, but many parts of it. I'm not sure if that's
like
what was
avatars of death.
Well done.
I also liked how he separated the Red Death separated himself from Satan. Like that he has no power over. It's like this is a completely different thing. Kind of like how the quote unquote good, they weren't necessarily afraid of. They were, but they were willing to die. So it just kind of was another way to kind of show the difference between these characters and between good and evil and all this stuff. It was just, but again, subtle, but it was there for sure. Yeah, I love this movie. It was great. I wasn't expecting to love it as much because I didn't remember anything but the masquerade ball. And I was just like, oh yeah, it was cool, and then you watch it again and you're like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah. That was nice to see.
All right. As we're wrapping this up, is there any closing comments that anybody wants to touch on or something we didn't pass over?
I would just say if you have not seen this movie, you definitely need to find it and go watch it because it's about an hour and a half long, isn't it? It's it's just a great Vincent Price movie. I'm sure if you're a diehard Vincent Price fan, you've already seen it. But if you haven't, or if you've ever have any doubts about these Poe movies from Roger Corman, and this one will put everything to rest, because this is just a phenomenal film in all aspects.
All aspects. One little tidbit is that Basil Rathbone was originally announced as Vincent Price's co-star, so I guess he would have played the
Nigel Green, or the Nigel part.
Maybe I was thinking more along the lines of Alfredo. The Patrick McGee played him.
Oh, Patrick, yeah, that's who I meant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The names mixed up.
It wouldn't have been the same.
No.
Basil Rathbone doesn't have the smarmy kind of.
Now, if he'd have played Death,
maybe he could do it. Oh, you were thinking he would play Death?
That would have been interesting. Yeah. I'm curious what happened there, but anyway.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, because it wasn't like Basil was turning down roles.
Not at that time. He would do a lot of Corman films, right? He would.
He did a few.
Yeah.
Those are some of the better ones he was doing at that time. So.
And there's our review of The Masque of the Red Death. What a great time it has been talking about that. A fine pick, if I do say so myself. And I'm sure Jeff Moore is like thrashing fists at us for doing it when he's gone. But again, we want to remind you that you can go over to Patreon and check out these episodes, usually about 2 weeks in advance. Sometimes a little later, depends on how schedules arrive for us, but you get them a couple days after we record them, and other neat things too. So check that out. And of course, we'd love feedback, and we have some feedback for you tonight. And I will start off with the first one, which is for episode 135, I guess it is. It's really strange how it's written in there, but the Mantango episode, and Sphincter Knuckle Buster has a very short comment for us. Chubba Wubba. Thank you.
Which I will counter with Goozle.
Yes.
Goozle.
I'm just going to call you SKB from now on, but thank you, SKB. All right. Up next is for episode 221, The Magic Sword. Daphne, why don't you jump in and do that?
Okay. This is from Jose. Hi, Jose. Magic Sword. This is the one Mr. Big film I've not seen. I do see there is a Blu-ray, however. I once read an interview with Estelle Winwood when she was in her 90s, and she told the interviewer she smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day and regretted nothing.
Yep.
Well,
nothing.
And she was in her 90s. So, yeah.
I wouldn't regret it either if I lived to be that old.
Yeah.
Up next is a comment from Cameroon. Chad Hunt.
Cameroon says, always loved hearing you folks. I admit MST3K was the place I remember seeing this best. But I have a feeling I may have seen it as a very little kid on the Saturday Film Festival on KTLA Channel 5 back in the day. Would absolutely love to see you folks do an episode or feature covering Burt I. Gordon. Always loved his work. We've done a couple.
Yeah.
Couple of his movies.
Yep. All right. And our final comment is from Mark Azopardi. Bill.
Mark says, another great discussion, Grue-Crew. I always look forward to hearing your thoughts on these wonderful films, and you never disappoint. Daphne may be interested in reading Vampira, Dark Goddess of Horror by W. Scott Poole, a 2014 biography of Vampira. This wonderful biography also contains some very rare photos. Regarding the feedback on Planet of the Vampires, I think the Ibn Melkor book in question is 6 cult films from the 60s published by Bear Manor Media in 2010. Melkor offers lengthy background stories on the making of The Time Travelers, The Angry Red Planet, Reptilicus, Journey to the Seventh Planet, Robinson Crusoe on Mars, and Planet of the Vampires.
And that sounds like a good.
That sounds
Read.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
book,
not a
yeah.
great
Oh my
read.
gosh.
Yeah. I could see why they'd want that book.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All
Thanks,
right,
Mark.
well,
Yeah.
absolutely. Not only thanks to Mark, but also thanks to Cameroon and Joey, Louise.
Jose.
Yeah, Jose. What did I say, Joey? I'm sorry, Jose. It's late. It's been long. Oh my gosh. And Mr. SKB.
Come on, Doc. You know they made that name up just to hear us read it on the
Well,
air.
go ahead and say it, Chad. What is it?
Sphincter Knucklebuster.
All right. Very well done.
Yes.
All right. And you can reach out to us at feedback@gruesommagazine.com or leave a comment on YouTube or on our website or on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere you find us. We read them all and we love them all. Even the ones that come after us. Occasionally you guys do.
Yeah, we'll read those too. We
They're
don't
fun.
care.
All right. Up next is, and I think we alluded to this earlier, that we might be doing another one of Corman's Poe films. This one was picked by Daphne. Daphne, what? Pray tell. And did you choose?
Well, I thought we can continue this discussion with watching The Tomb of Ligeia. Or if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, please let me know. But that's the one we're gonna watch next.
You
Awesome.
pronounced it better than I would have. It would have been a disaster. But yes, we are doing. I haven't seen this one.
I haven't either.
I have not ever.
I don't think I've ever
looked this
seen
one
it
up.
either.
Yeah, so I'm
Nice.
looking forward to this.
Has a cool poster.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
better,
cat.
I better like it, Daphne.
Oh, I have a feeling you will.
Fingers crossed.
Bill, have you seen it?
Oh yeah. I think it was
Okay.
one of those 5 movies they showed at the 4:30 movie. Yeah, I think I.
Yeah.
Listen to all that enthusiasm
I know.
spewing out of Bill's mouth. Yeah, I've
It's
seen
got a
it.
cat. It's got a cat
It's
in
got
it.
a cat.
Oh
Uh-oh.
my God.
Okay. Well, it's my understanding is it's the last one.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, Bill, Daphne, Chad, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
really
Thank you.
grateful for you all. This was
Good time.
really, truly so much fun.
It's always fun, even if the movie's not, which wasn't the case this time.
Not
Right.
this time,
Right.
But
but it has been.
yes. Always.
yeah, it has been before. Yeah.
And will be again.
Oh, not next week. Our next episode, I don't think. I think we're gonna.
We'll see. I'll be the judge of that.
You will indeed. All right. With that, let's say good night.
Good
Good
night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.